Yeah, what's the deal with everybody, man? Top of the morning. What is it? What is wait? What what is the Swahili terminology that we used to say in prison? I believe it's Njema Asabui. Good morning. So Njema Asabui. Good morning, everybody. Um, every time I jump on there, people want to, back in and start calling. Yo, peace and blessings, King. What's the deal? I'm live.
Oh, you on live? Okay, I'll let you go. Call me uh later on.
All right, I'm gonna call you as soon as I jump off this.
All right.
All right, love you, gone. All my people, man. Hey, man, shout out to my folks out there in Boston, man. Much love and respect. Appreciate you, taking time out of your day and macking in on the platform, man. Hey, it's greatly appreciated, man. I don't never for one minute, 1 second want y'all to think that y'all popping in and jumping in the chat and all that. It doesn't mean anything to me because it means a lot. You feel what I'm saying? I appreciate that. It's a song, man. Y'all may be familiar with the song. The song is called "Don't Worry." This ain't the title, but it's an old song, and the dude be like, "Don't worry, be happy," and it's a science to that, right? Because sometimes we get into these stress-filled situations, man, and all we resort to is worrying, panicking, not knowing how to, navigate through these complications and all that, right? When you're dealing with worry and anxiety and all that, the first thing that you need to do is find something that makes you happy in that moment. Find something that you're appreciative of, because anxiety, the part of the brain where anxiety comes from, it comes from the same part of the brain where gratefulness and gratitude come from, and they both can't be there at the same place at the same time. One to cancel out the other, just like in the Bible where it talks about um you can't have darkness and light at the same time, for one will, overrule the other. You feel what I'm saying? So when we going through these stress-filled situations, man, I just want you to find something that you're grateful for, whether it's your kids, whether it's your job, your profession, your career, a recent goal that you just accomplished. Find some type of way to combat worriness and stress and anxiety by finding something to be happy about. You feel what I'm saying? And that brings me to the topic of happiness, right? A lot of us aren't joyful in life because we on this constant pursuit of happiness. We chasing happiness, but we don't understand that happiness is an external stimuli. The way that you get happy, the way that you obtain happiness is by um people, places, and things. People, places, and things make you happy. Now, one of y'all right now, if I just said, "Oh, I'm gonna pick one," hey, Fonz, what's the deal? Much love and respect, Edie. Peep Game TV, keep on your mission. I appreciate that. I will. Top of the AM to my big homie Fonz. Top of the AM to my big homie Lil Dane Dog. Much love and respect, man. I appreciate y'all, tuning in and macking in on your player partner. You feel me? But yeah, getting back to happiness. Happiness is an external stimuli. People, places, and things contribute happiness to our lives. You feel what I'm saying? If I pick one of y'all and say, I'm gonna give you $1,000, I'm gonna give you 200, you get 200, you get 200, you get 200. That'll bring a feeling of happiness into your life, right? So when you talk to some of these people out here, and you say, "What you want out of life?" They say, "I just want to be happy." You being happy, but that shit is like a hit a pot of cocaine. You toot it, and man, you feeling good, and about 15 to 20 minutes, it goes down. Now you're looking for the next boost. Now you're looking for the next hit or the next thing to bring you happy. Like a lot of females, they believe that happiness comes in the form of a relationship. Yeah, it does, but it don't last long. Happiness is a temporal feeling. It's a temporal state. It's not something that's permanent. So what we got to start doing is focusing on joy. Joy is things that we create for ourselves and that we work on. Happiness, external stimuli. We become happy by other people, places, and things. But joy is chronic. Joy is long lasting. Joy is more fulfilling. So we got to start working on our joy. We got to accomplish some form of joy if you want to live this blissful life and this life that's helping you navigate through hardships and problems, and you're not easily swayed or dismayed or getting off your center for minuscule disagreements and all that type of shit. You feel me? I'm gonna say this before I segue into something else, man. A lot of dudes believe that I'm their competition. Nah, I'm not your competition. I'm not your competitor. You feel what I'm saying? I'm here temporarily as I go on my ascent. You feel what I'm saying? See, my endeavor, my goal isn't to be on Adam 22 and all that. You feel what I'm saying? And it's podcast and all this social media platform and in doing this vlogging. My goal, man, my goal, my aspiration is to get on Joe Rogan show, the Joe Rogan experience. We different. My goal is to do a TED talk. We different. We're not competitors. I'm just here right now by default. You feel what I'm saying? As I gradually go on my ascent. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah, yeah. What's good, cuz man? Hey man, I'm super cool like a deep freezer, man. Staying chilly like a breeze, man. You know what I mean? Same thing, different toilet, man. But a lot of people push on this change. You gotta change. You gotta change. I'm from Imperial Course Housing Projects, right? And let me tell you what change look like. I got big homies, right? So this week or this month, he may be, fucking with Big Baby on or Big Booty Baby on the bull side. Next week, he probably fucking with Skinny Mini, or next month he fucking with Skinny Mini, Skinny Baby on a pill. This 6 months, he probably in a Lexus. The next 6 months, he probably in a Benz. This week, he's selling weed. 2 months later, he may be moving that boy or moving that girl. That's what change look like for a lot of us coming out of these destitute communities. They want us to change, but a lot of us don't know how the fuck to change. How do we change? Because most of the change that we accomplish in our community is still rooted in the problem, the confusion, the controversy, and the conflict. So how do we change? They want us to change, but they never tell us how to change. How do we change when we come from these destitute communities to where we don't have an abundance of resources, outlets, and connections? How do we change? How do we make progress in these environments to where it's death, confusion, and destruction around us? How do we change? Can we make a realistic change in the hood, or do you have to lead the hood to change? My change started in the hood. um, I got a letter from my cousin PJ Bam, and he told me in his letter, he said, change your perspective, because often the things that we perceive change when we change our perspective. And that was next level to me, because I was at a pivotal point in my life to where I needed to change, because I felt the presence of death on me. I say, man, if I continue to live like this, man, I'm gonna die. So I was looking for change. And when he dropped that gem on me, man, it made me reflect back to when I was in Ironwood State Prison. And OG Larry told me, he said, youngster, you got a good head on your shoulders. He said, you can go out there and do some powerful shit, man, with the mind that you got. He said, but how do you stay out of here? So I gave him some philosophical bullshit. Man, you got to do this, and you got to do this, and do that, and do that. And it was all some bullshit. It was me just attempting to sound intelligent to a dude that had an abundance of wisdom. He said, oh, man, all that shit is bullshit. He said, this is what you want to do if you don't want to bring your ass back in here. He said, change your playground, your playmates, and your playthings, and you'll be all right. So when PJ Bam hit me with this letter about changing my perspective and the things that I changed, that the things that I perceived would change when I changed my perspective, and me reflecting back to when Larry told me about changing my playground, my playmates, and my playthings, and I can prevent myself from going back to prison. That made me also think about when I was in Tehachapi State Prison, and I'm hitting the yard with this old cat. He said, youngster, if you don't want to come back to the shit, you got to look at this shit like a sanctuary. I said, huh? He said, look, let me give you game. He said, when you go to a sanctuary, you go in there for the development of yourself. You go in there to make improvements to yourself. He said, what you think people do at a sanctuary? I said, meditate, eat right, exercise, read, like educate themselves. He's like, yeah. And he was like, that's the same shit that you got to do in here. Use your shit as a sanctuary instead of perceiving it as a form of punishment. When I use prison as a sanctuary and I went in there, I educated myself, I participated in think tanks, I opened my mind up to receive an abundance of information. Man, I've been out of prison for 15 years by the grace of God. But going back to change, how do we change when we come from these destitute communities and we're dealing with trauma, we're dealing with pain, we're dealing with hardships, we're dealing with beef, turmoil, all this shit? How do we change? They say, well, the first start is changing your mind. A lot of us didn't change our minds. It's a lot of people in our communities, man, that has messy friends, and due to their associations, they always found themselves in mess. So what they do, they change their friends. But you go from messy friends to lazy friends. Oh, I need a friend that I can call and they're gonna pick up the phone. Of course, if this individual don't got a job and all they do is just stay home watching soap operas and being on social media, going live, taking pictures, they don't have anything going for themselves. So if you call them and you have frustrations and you have, certain things that you want to get off your chest and they don't answer the phone and they ain't got no job, all they doing is on social media, watching TV, watching soap operas and all that. For them not to answer the phone, it'd be treason. But we got to change our circle and start associating ourselves with people who are on a ascent, on an incline, people who are progressing. You feel what I'm saying? That's a part of change too. But they say you got to change your mind. Once you change your mind, everything will be cool. That's a motherfucking lie. Just because you change your mind, that don't mean that you got it, because you got to understand it's a triune theory. In the same manner that we got the triune theory to where we got the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit, the Antichrist, the devil, and a false prophet, we got the mind, body, and soul. So you can change your mind, but now you got to start working on that body. And it's a reason, it's scientific data that says that when you start working on your body, it affects the mind because it produces certain hormones and certain chemicals in the body. When you start exercising, it starts secreting, I believe, serotonin, to where you start feeling better. When you're feeling better, you do better. So it's a triune thing, the mind, body, and soul. Why do you think they got the Food and Drug Administration? Because the things that we consume can hinder us from progressing and leveling up with the mind, body, and soul. Because we so fixated in giving satisfaction to the flesh to where we forget about the mind and we neglect the spirit. And we continuously engaging in the same things because our diets is fucked up. So it's mind, body, and soul. Once you change the mind, then you got to start working on your diet. Because the chemicals found in the foods that we eat, man, it reduces the serotonin production. Serotonin is a happy chemical. It reduces oxytocin. That's the love chemical. And what is the other one? Serotonin, oxytocin, and dopamine. It fucks up your dopamine receptors. Why do you think they got the Food and Drug Administration? Because some of these food that we're eating have certain drugs in it that has the same effect upon our body as the actual drugs that they classify as being illegal. You ever ate a piece of hamburger and that motherfucker was good and you're like, oh, this motherfucker bomb. It made you feel some type of way. It released some serotonin, a little dopamine. Why you think a lot of, and even this goes for me too, right? A lot of people who are in a stress and a funk, they want to eat because when they eat, it gives them a release of serotonin and dopamine. It makes them feel good. You feel what I'm saying? It lessens the cortisol levels for a duration of time to where you can kind of feel like, man, I feel cool, man. I just had me 4 slices of pizza. All this so crazy ass shit, right? But the mind, body, and soul, you just can't change the mind and think that life problems are going to dissipate, because they are not. Now you got to start working on that body. Because wherever the mind goes, the body should be following, because they're connected. And then we got to understand the duality of life. Yeah, you may be a gangster, but other than a gangster, what are you? I had a situation, right? And this is me coming into a deeper level of understanding and consciousness, right? So like I told y'all, man, I've been pushing peace for Watts and Bloods and Crips for a minute, right? So I'm hollering at this influential guy. And he's with another guy from the Imperial Course Housing Projects that kind of got a reputation as being a gunslinger, you feel what I'm saying? But only on the homies and all that. But I'm not gonna get into that. So I'm like, yeah, man, I've been in talks with the cats from Gray Street, man, and they saying they want to come to the table and they want to try to create a ceasefire, man. See if we can do a ceasefire. I'm talking to whoopty whoop, whoopty whoop, and whoopty whoop, right? So the other dude like, oh no, man, F them niggas. And F any nigga that's trying to do peace. That's how my homie, Wooty Whoop got, twisted up in some BS and some false paperwork. Wooty Whoop, and man, F these niggas and F any nigga that's trying to push peace and Wooty Whoop and all that. I get offended on Mike. I'm like, all right, this, and I let him talk because I already got it in my mind. I'm about to blam him down on Mike. So I leave. I go to my Uncle Big Lou house, and I'm like, get up real quick. Let me get the thing. And like, what's going on, nephew? Anything I can help with? I'm like, nah, it ain't nothing you can help with. This whoopty whoop cat, whoopty whoop just said whoopty whoop and all that. And my uncle like, hold on, I'm gonna give it to you, but let me tell you this, nephew. He's like, man, you ain't gotta do that because somebody else gonna do it to him. And he's like, what about your kids, man? Ain't you fighting to get your kids back? So in that moment, I had to embrace the duality. Yeah, I may perceive myself to be a gangster, but I'm also a dedicated, loving father. And right now, me being in my emotions about being against and feeling like a dude offended me, it can jeopardize me being a committed, dedicated, and loving father. So we got to embrace the duality of life. It's a word, right? And a lot of us may not have peeped this, right? But it's a word called individual. In, inside, right? In divided two. When you break down that word, it basically means inside dwells two, or inside is divided two. Just like we see those cartoons and it be the devil right here, but he got the face of the person whose shoulder he's on. Then it'd be an angel right here, and he got the face of the person of the shoulder he's on. There's two entities within us. Even when you read the Bible, it talks about the spiritual component of us and the physical component of us. You know, I can go a little deeper and talk about and some of y'all may disagree with this, right? It's a battle between Lucifer and Yahweh. Yahweh say, these my spiritual creations. These my babies. Lucifer say, these my physical creations. These my babies too. See, what they don't tell you in church is that a lot of people believe that the forbidden fruit was actually sex. A lot of people believe that Lucifer came down here looking androgynous. If you know what androgynous, if you know what and androgynous means, it means having the appearance and a likeness of male or female. And they already said that Lucifer was one of the most beautiful angels. So when he came down here and he seen Eve, he was handsome, looking amazing. You feel what I'm saying? So when Eve gazed upon him, it's almost like a situation of worship. So he said, and I'm gonna put it to you in layman term. I'm not quoting the Bible. This is a verbatim. This is in layman term. And if anybody have any knowledge about this, back in the comments, and let's get into it. Religion is a dogma meant to conquer and divide. I agree with you. I'm not talking about religion. I'm just talking about the interpretation of the Bible about the duality and how inside of us dwells two different entities. Even in the Quran, they talk about the jihad. Yeah, I believe with you that religion is a dogma meant to divide and conquer. I agree with you. I feel like the biggest manipulation tactic ever used against humans was religion, but I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the actual life that we live and how we can associate it with the Bible and understand why inside of us is divided two warring entities. The Muslims call it jihad, right? Make a long story short, you know what happened. Lucifer said, "Hey, look, check this out, baby. You see that tree over there?" She said, "Yeah, I see it." He said, "Go to that tree and eat of it." And she said, "No, we should not eat of the tree because God said the day that we eat of the tree, we should surely die." I say, "No, no, no, no." Lucifer, bearer of light, one who brings knowledge. That's what Lucifer translates to. Bearer of light, one who brings knowledge. So when he came down there, he brought something. He brought knowledge, and you can see it in the scriptures when he started, chopping game with Eve. Bearer of light, one who brings knowledge, and we all know that light is a representation of what? Knowledge, wisdom, understanding. Just like we used to watch some TV shows and those cartoons when we was kids, and when a person had an ingenious idea, the light would click, bing, he's illuminated. That's what the Illuminati mean, the enlightened one. Those who have come into a certain level of consciousness, knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. But I digress. Back to the story. She say the day that we eat of the fruit, we should die. You say, no, you shouldn't die. Baby, you should become like God, knowing good from evil. She partook in it. She seen that it was good. And what she do? She went and gave it to her husband. Why you think young girls mature faster than young boys? Now watch this. A lot of people still rise and believe that that actual fruit was sex. A lot of people still rise and believe that Lucifer had sex with Eve, and that firstborn baby was actually the first hybrid, the first spawn of Lucifer. Now they talk about the sons of God came down to earth and began to have sex with the daughters of men. That first relationship that a lot of people believe that transpired like that was actually Lucifer having sex with Eve and producing Cain. Why you think God didn't like Cain? Because he was a spawn of Lucifer. He was a spawn of Satan. He was Lucifer's first offspring here in his physical realm of existence. Everything he took to God shot it down. No, I'm cool. Hey, Abel, what you got, man? Because a lot of people still rise and believe that Abel was actually Adam's first biological son, and Cain actually belonged to Lucifer. So if Lucifer had a sexual relation with Eve and produced a physical child, then that means somewhere, somehow in our DNA, we got Lucifer in us, right? Because at some point in time, everybody had to start entwining and all that, unless we all got here according to the Bible, according to the Christian Bible, unless we all got here through ancestral relationships that was forbidden in the book of Leviticus. But look, check game. We know that it had to be other people out there, other entities out there, right? Because when Yahweh came down to the new land that he had forsaken them to, he said, Cain, we your brother. I don't know where's my brother from. Am I my brother's keeper? He was like, your brother blood cries out to me for the grave. So for this evil act that you have done, I shall excommunicate you. I shall forsake you from this land. He said, please, God, please don't forsake me for the land, for whoever comes upon me should kill me. But if it's 4 people that's on earth and the 4th person just died, who else was out there that could have killed him? When God said, no, I shall put a mark upon you, a covering, a mark upon you, for whoever touches you, I should avenge you 70 times or 7 times over. Who else was out there to hurt him? Who else could have killed him? But getting back to what I'm saying about the duality of life and accepting that, yes, we may be wounded, but also inside of us is a healer. Yes, we may think that we are gangster, but also inside of us is a loving father, a devoted community person, a wise man, things of this nature. Once we can decipher and understand that inside of us is 2 different entities, then we'd be more equipped to navigate through certain situations. Like the situation that I was telling you about, and my uncle at the man, ain't you fighting for your kids? So now I got to think as a father, and I think as a gangster. And I wanted to blam him down, man. And just to give you a little bit more about that story, I won't go into details, but that dude died 2 or 3 years later. Somebody hit him with a chopper, word is bond. Vengeance is mine, says the Lord. Sometimes you ain't even got to touch a individual, because that covering that he put on Cain, you may be calling, you may be part of the call, you may be chosen, and God has a covering over you for whoever comes upon you or whoever rise up against you. They'll lead themselves to their own destruction. Because in the Bible, it says something to the effect, and y'all can quote me if I misquote, touch my prophets not, and do my anointed no harm. Even though we perceive it as like, man, why does dude is always doing this and he doing this and he doing that? And man, he a scandalous cat and ain't nobody did nothing to him because he's anointed. And God is keeping a shield and a hedge of protection over him, because God is going to use this individual to convey a message of how amazing God is. You feel what I'm saying? But I ain't trying to get all religious and all that. Let me jump into some of these comments, man. All right. Peep Game TV. Much love from Boston. Keep your mission. Keep on your mission. Top of the AM Heedy, Top's big homie. Top of the morning Heedy, Top's big homie. King Groove, my partner 713. Much love and respect. Yeah, what's up, cuz, man? Super cool like a deep freezer. Vitamin T. Each one teach one. Yeah. Hey, much appreciated, man. I'm doing my best. And look, they had a conversation about me yesterday. A few cats. You know what I mean? People was on these phones and they was, what's up with this? What's up with that? It was a situation that could have got crazy, right? But my big homie had to tell some cats like, a lot of cats get offended by what Ye say because he holding cats accountable, right? And he said, Ye ain't just on the internet sparking up confusion, conflict, and beef, because Ye know that we holding him accountable. So I'm not on here just, being willy-nilly and all that, man. It's some self-accountability and community accountability and peer accountability that's on my end as well. You feel what I'm saying? So I ain't on here like a drunk monkey with a gun. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I hold myself accountable, and I got individuals that I highly love and respect that holds me accountable too. You feel me? Each one teach one. This is true. Start from the hood, but the change is out of the hood. Yeah, the change is out of the hood, but the change is also in the hood, Edie. My change came from Imperial Course housing projects. One night I'm in a spot with the homies and all that, man. We snoring, man. We going up. Powder, not crystal and none of the other stuff, but yeah, I'm not a black pot calling a black skillet black. I'm not doing that. But I never got into that crystal meth and the Finny and all that other stuff. The strongest drug that I ever did was pot of cocaine, right? But we going up, man. We got the plate going around, man. We tooting, we snorting lime, and we having a grand old time. We got females in the spot, got like 100 guns in the spot. We in it, man. We in there living. So I snowed my line, right? And I say, man, Tonight, even though it's like 2 or 3 in the morning, I say, man, tonight is my last night getting high. People laugh like, oh man, no, man, you gonna be getting high tomorrow. I said, nah, no, I ain't. And I ain't did pot of cocaine since that morning. It's been over 15 years since I got down. Do I still have the desire? Yeah, the desire is there. Do I still have the temptation to get my nose dirty? Most definitely. But that duality, okay, I'm a wounded individual and I can find temporary comfort in going to snort a line of cocaine, right? But I'm also a father, a committed father, a single father, a dedicated father. And me doing this pot of cocaine can get me off of my foundation of being a father. Because now I probably do it and I probably like it too much, and I'll be on a 2 or 3 year run to where my priority is getting high. Now I'm neglecting the responsibility. Now I'm neglecting my responsibilities and my obligations as a father because I'm on a pursuit to get high. Why would I do that? And my mother and my father did that to me. At some point in time, that cycle got to stop. But, just piggybacking off what you said, little Dame Dog Cub, my change started in the hood. Malik V. Thor, the writer and director of Imperial Dreams, did come get me, take me to Beverly Hills, take me to Malibu, Oakland, Frisco, different places, Orlando, Florida, and all that. But that just fueled my desire for change. I stopped hanging with the homies. I stopped getting high. I stopped doing certain things that I was doing. But my change started right there where I committed the most destruction, where I was contaminated the most. My change came in the heart of Imperial Courts Housing Project. I remember the big homie DC told me, man, you got to learn how to be bored and patient out here. Because you're going to be bored and patient if you in jail. Why you can't be bored and patient out here? And DC told me, man, sometimes, man, I be at the house just chilling for a month. I ain't been outside or I ain't been to the hood in a month. I said, man, I want to see if I can do that. I want to see if I can be in the hood without being in the hood for a month. I did it. And when I did it, it was fulfilling. So I say, man, what I got to be in the hood for? Why I got to do this and why I got to do that? And I can find comfort and satisfaction in just being in the house, looking over my kids, writing my stories, and doing things to develop myself. You feel what I'm saying? So I appreciate DC for just giving me that game. You feel what I'm saying? Like, because when you is in jail, you're gonna be patient and bored. So why not find a way to be patient and bored out here on the streets? Why do we always got to look for excitement? Why we always feel like we got to hang with the homies and be a part of the in crowd and be seen and all that? You feel what I'm saying? The most profound things that have ever happened in my life happened in my solitude. The most transformative things that ever happened in my life happened in my solitude. Let me read a few more of these comments. That one guy, big fact, yes indeed. So my player partner Salty say, salute y'all. Like the video. I appreciate it. Like, subscribe. You feel what I'm saying? You ain't obligated to, but it would help a brother out. You feel what I'm saying? Let's try to get this brother monetized. Man, I appreciate it. Religion is all dogma meant to conquer and divide. The homie Psycho, hey, you right, homie. Shout out to you and I don't know if you're a Sordanio or Northanio or just an independent, but shout out to you and your people, man. Much love and respect. I appreciate you, macking in, dropping in. Demetrius Dupree, facts, yeah. My partner Salty, but carnal knowledge or to know can be perverse. I agree with you. Just like the knowledge of nakedness or sin itself. I agree with you on that. Tree of knowledge of good and evil. Yes, indeed. Sticky. What's up, big dog? Sticky. What's up, big dog? Demetrius Dupree, facts. One kid was Adam and one was Satan's, baby. Yes, indeed. You are absolutely right. Book of Enoch. That's my partner Salty. Lucifer did this with carnal knowledge. Okay. I believe that. The Nymphums, yeah, the Nymphums is those hybrid individuals that were half man, half God. That's in our DNA too. Man, hey, we gonna get into it, man. I'm building towards that, man. My endeavor, man, is to get on the Joe Rogan podcast and be able to touch minds and change people who are not privy to what goes on or what's actually happening in the ghetto, give them a new perspective on us so they can give us better opportunities and stop being so discriminatory towards us and being biased and prejudiced towards us when they see individuals that come from these destitute community that's here, that knows how to articulate, that knows how to interact with different peoples from different walks of life, that has understanding, compassion, and things of that nature, have these positive attributes. The movie Imperial Dreams changed the perspective of a lot of individuals who are judges, doctors, lawyers, and people who are not privy to know what goes on into these communities. Imperial Dreams did that. After they made Imperial Dreams, they start, because I was a part of the Anti-Recidivism Coalition. The Anti-Recidivism Coalition is a foundation that's created by Scott Budnick. Scott Budnick is the individual who's the producer on all the Hangovers. So he created this coalition to get judges, um, police judges, people from correctional institutions, people that's on the that's part of the government, to come and interact. No snitching type situation, but just have meaningful dialogue and be able to get the backstory of the people who they were giving life to. And as a result of this, they went back and they changed the law and said, if a person committed a crime and they were under the age of 25, where the human brain hasn't fully developed, we got to resentence them because they were still thinking like a kid. But that comes from these meaningful exchanges of lifestyle information, not criminal information, but lifestyle information. And seeing the movie Imperial Dream, my fight coming out of prison, saying, man, I don't want to go back to selling dope. I don't want to get back to being a gangster. All I want to do is establish myself as an artist to get my message out there and earn enough money to where I can take care of my kids. Plain and simple. That changed the game. But man, it's let me read a few more of these comments. I try to end it at 30 minutes, man. In Genesis 3:14, God speaks about division between Satan's child and a woman's child. Yes, this is true. Hey, Demon, we're gonna have to put something together maybe this Saturday, a Sunday, man. I'd love for you to come on, man, and we can dissect that Bible as best as we can. You feel what I'm saying? So, that'd be honored. That'd be an honor if you would come on, Saturday, Sunday, even though I work, I get up early so we can do it. You feel what I'm saying? But that'd be an amazing thing, man. Let's start a Bible study from individuals that come from the ghetto, what they consider the bottom. You feel what I'm saying? Let's give our perspective and input on these stories in the Bible. Powerful message. Hey man, I appreciate that. Vitamin T, much love. That's what I said. It started from the hood. Oh, my bad. I misunderstood you, and I apologize. Hey, my guy is here. Hey, look, check this out, man. May God work in mysterious ways. All praise be to the Most High God. Check this out. When I was a kid, it was three very influential guys. It was other influential guys too, but I'm talking about positive creativity. That was Vava, my partner that's on here right now, Jay Island. It was the big homie J Dog, and it was the big homie Dominique Biddle from Off the Funny Side. These dudes created outlets for the youngsters in the community through sporting events and sporting teams. They never misled us. Well, I played on Jerron team for probably about 2 games, and I was back in the streets. You know what I mean? I got a story about that too, about this little female see me trying to play basketball. I was fucking up, man. I was fucking up. Man, I didn't have the mechanics down right. I'm double dribbling and all type of shit, but they gave me that opportunity to learn how to play basketball, and they supported me in trying to level up in that sporting situation, but it wasn't for me. You know what I mean? The streets was calling me. But I want to send a major shout out to J Dog, to my homie Vava, to my big homie Don, man, who got a lot of dudes out of the streets and got a lot of guys from being in situations to where they could have took a life or lost a life. So, Vava, man, I just want to give you your flowers, man. Much love and respect. And I appreciate you for your contributions, your positive contributions to the community, man. This individual goes out of his own pocket, buys 10, 15 pounds of chicken, fry it up for the community. Everybody welcome, and he just give out plates just to kind of like bring back the love. You feel what I'm saying? Just to bring back the love, bring back the unity, and bring back the feeling of being family. So shout out to Vava for that, man. And it's other amazing things that he do as well. But I'm not gonna get into that one day. Hopefully one day, the brother come and grace the platform, and he can just tell you things from his perspective. And he got an amazing story, man. This dude, man, when we talk about the story of triumph, that's him. Let me hit a few more of these comments. Hit that like button, man. I appreciate it. That's why they do the food. That's what they do to the food in prison. Man, when I was working in prison, homie, the box of those delicious, magically delicious sausages says not for human consumption. Even the chicken that comes in the boxes, because I was working I was a dock worker, so everything that come in, I'm bringing it in, right? But a lot of that food said not for human consumption. I wonder why. All right, my partner Salty, Bobby A. Imperial Vision. I know somebody who is a routine contact with Joe Rogan, my YouTube colleague, Dr. Thunder Ills. I will holler at him to see what can be done. All right, but let's put it on pause because I got a little bit more growing to do in developing of this channel. So when he see it, he can see like, okay, yeah, this individual has an out of the box way of thinking and he's solution based, but they can see more positive attributes. You feel what I'm saying? So let me build this body of work, and then we gonna holler at them. And I appreciate that energy, and you just considering me for that, man. I appreciate that. Lucifer and Jesus both are the morning star light bearers. It's about just which energy do you man, hey, that's heavy. MIC book, man. I appreciate that. Cause it's just like magic, man. He say Lucifer and in Yeshua, Jesus is both the morning star, but it's all about what you do with it. Just like you got magic. There's no good magic, there's no bad magic, it's just magic. It's all about what you do with it. That's true. Demetrius Dupree, Demon, says for sure, salute. As above, so below. MIC books. Dom, a real one, him and his sons. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed, Kim folks. Demond Polk say facts. Vitamin T say I was watching this old school documentary reconstructed where a native Indian was talking about black slaves and how she got punished for trying to help free them. Is the Messiah's my eyes? Or in the Messiah's eye? Hey, that's something that I want to touch upon, man. Native Indians, because yeah, that's heavy. That yeah. Hey, listen, man, I'm gonna get up off this thing, but at some point in time, Vitamin T, man, we gonna have to come on here and dialogue about these Native Indians, because in my blood, I am part Choctaw Indian. My great grandmother was she used to live on an Indian reservation. So when she used to get into it with her husband, who was an African American, when she used to get into it with him, she'd take her kids and she'd go back to the Indian reservation. But just like in the same manner in which I think it was Isaiah stole his brother's birthright and identity, that's what they did to us, because it was already dark pigmented people here. That's why when Christopher Columbus and them got up off them boats and they looked at them dark skinned people with the straight hair and they thought they was in India, because the original inhabitants of India were dark skinned people with straight hair. So I mean, we gonna get into all this, man. Y'all step and be blessed, man. I appreciate y'all macking in on your player partner, man. It's been an amazing time, man. Step and be blessed. I gotta get ready for work, but I ain't about to be working that much no time soon, man. I'm starting my own business, and by the grace of God, I know it's gonna be a success. But y'all stay up, be blessed, man, and I appreciate y'all macking in on your Kim folks, your player partner.